Minutes for January 31st, meeting have been distributed, posted. We have a motion to approve those minutes. Alone first. Is there a second? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Bill Dwyer, we have our treasurer's report.
Okay, we'll do codes, it's just one page. We've got no new vouchers for February. And they will, because it's the first of the year, so everything fits on the front page. Codes, savings account, and at the bottom is the checking account. And those are January things that happened. Nothing in February. Okay, on the district one, first page, front page, you'll see that the tax money has come in. We've got $1,253,000. Bottom of the page are tonight's vouchers that we owe. 2 and 3 are the budgets. Four is an abbreviated comparison to last year because it only prints out those categories that actually had an expense between last year and this year. So some of them don't print out because there wasn't any either this year or last year. And on page 5, I think this is one of the few times we can get all the bank accounts on one page. And you'll see at the top, under the money market account on page 5, there's the deposit of the $1,473,000, which was our property tax amount. And right below that, those 3 minus 70 minus 1540 is the transfer into the reserve from the tax money. And the bottom figure, or the 157,000, is putting it into payroll, so to meet the payroll for the year. Page 6 at the top is the service award. And you can see the very last thing under the service award, January 31st, we lost 35,000, bad month. And below that, the referendums we have outstanding. There's 2 of them. One for the kitchen equipment and one for the roof repair. And below the black line, or I put in just so I don't forget also, they're not referendums, but we earmarked 3,000 for the station boards, and we earmarked 10,000 for the extended warranty. Just so that we're aware that those budget items are less correct. And the vouchers are on page 789 for 56,000, and because payroll's already out of that and the phone bills are already out of that, brings us to that 37,000 that's on the front page. And let's see what we got. The annual update document is finished, and I'll be sending that out tomorrow. It's the latest on Wednesday, along with the financial notes. And I'll put the copies in your mailbox. We're on schedule to receive the participant statements for the service awards by, I'll say, mid-March. And Oh, and on the, page 6 at the bottom, that, station boards, are we finished with that? It's got a balance of 568, can I just eliminate?
You might still have some.
Oh, we're gonna have more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some incidentals.
Okay, all right, that's
Well,
it.
it's okay,
Okay. All right, and, look back to the service award, that gained 8.18% for 2021, the service awards.
How much?
8.18 for last year, the service awards was the gain. And that's all I have. Yep,
Back to the code sheet.
yep.
Middle of the paragraph might be my printout. But the
Oh.
whole-
Yeah, total, it's the same as right above it,
Okay.
83,973.56. Yep, thank you. Yep. That's when I cut and paste that in. Oh, and Mike, you win the lottery for the bank statements. You get to check the bank statements this month.
Questions for the treasurer? We have a motion to approve the treasurer's report. Jeremy, Diane. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. We have a motion to approve the vouchers presented, audited. All. Patterson. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And Malone will review the bank statements. And I don't think we closing out this reference. Amy, correspondence.
We have a proposed bylaws amendment for the Association of Fire Districts in the state of New York. I don't think you would know about it. It's not a huge change.
I think we should put that under
Yeah,
new business.
new business, yeah.
Talk about it.
We can talk about it. The counselor was received and distributed, the fire district's affairs was received and distributed, and we got a notification from the fire department president that the Super Bowl party has been replaced by family outing to the Syracuse Crunch game, and the pancake breakfast will not be held this year. And that's all.
Chief's report. Joe, are you going to give the chief's report?
Indeed I am. Chief Speech had work this evening and asked me to stand in his place. Equipment purchases, we're still waiting for 6 100-foot lengths of 4-inch supply for engine 21 and truck 2. And 2 clippers are back in, put more back in their reserve stock. Ordered 2 new backpack style EMS bags for Rescue 1, currently back order. We bought some more smoke CO detectors for our detector replacement program that we've been using over the past couple of months. We're currently working on going through the list generated for truck 2. Several items have been purchased. The computer tray has arrived and Jerry installed it. Still waiting on a punch list on those to be complete. NDT mounting equipment is due to arrive any day now. Installation will be scheduled. Apparatus, new truck 2 is operating well with minimal, few minor issues. I'll just add a little bit. Jerry's always on top of those items and takes good care of making sure that they're identified and taken care of. Waiting on some equipment. We've got a list from the Station 2 officers and Captain and Commissioner Chur are going to be working on that. Warranty items are being taken care of. as the parts become available, and new location of entry to Station 2 for easier access for our members. COVID-19 preparations were fully stocked with PPE. Members are reminded to be vigilant about wearing PPE on EMS calls. We now have some tests for COVID, and plans been put in place for that. If tests are needed for any reason, then contact Chief Speech, and then Chief Speech has several people available to get the test if Chief Speech is not available. As you can see, our mask restrictions have been lifted. Chief's been communicating that out to the members. Zoll EMS chart software. EMS members are becoming more and more comfortable with that. As the chief reviews them as our reviewer before they get submitted. They look really good, fewer errors. As always, the chief is encouraging members to put duty crews together for engine 91 or duty evenings or duty days. Members have been reminded to please try and use the brakes when responding. And as always, thank you all for your continued support.
Any questions about Chief's report? Chief Sorrow is not here. Do you have any?
I can fill in a little bit for Chief Massaro. He did not send I suspect he was anticipating on being here this evening. His quarters had a fire, and I did hear about the radio. He was overworking at Gavis and FIU. I know he has been working on a number of the different pre-plans. He's got many of them either scheduled, in the pipeline as he's getting them completed. We've done a number of pre-plan reviews as part of our drills, and they've gone very well. We have another one scheduled for March. So I know he's been working on those diligently.
And your own report.
I was so busy putting the other two together, I didn't get to. March's training. We got five Thursdays this month. I'm sorry, we got 4 Thursdays this month. The 10th is an EMS drill for our EMS folks and a station drill for the non-EMS folks. The 17th, we're going to do a extrication tool review and knock the dust off our knowledge and skills with those. Because on the 19th, which is a Saturday, Codes is hosting a extrication drill. So I haven't got much details. I think you saw my email today, trying to get some more details.
Did you get a response on that?
I have not yet, but I didn't send it out till midday, and I know Mr. Doogie, I think his name is Scott. Yeah. He works, so I'm sure I'll get something back. At any rate, 17th, we're going to go through our extrication tools so that our people are familiar with them, so that on the 19th for the Codes drill, any of our people participating can hit the ground running. 24th, Scba review and usage training. As we get into our fair weather months, we'll be using the Scbas more, so this is a good time to kind of go through that with our members. And then on the 31st, we're going to do another pre-plan review and a fire investigator unit presentation, kind of roll those together. Additionally, Belgium Cold Springs, I'm going to say a month and a half, 2 months back, emergency manager reached out annually, twice a year. They reach out to all the fire departments in the county with their requests for state classes, not only the classes that each fire department thinks their people would be their members would be interested in taking, but also which classes, courses that the fire departments would be willing to host. So in one of our officers' meetings, we had a discussion about it, put together a list. The chief submitted that list, and so far, Belgium Cold Springs has been asked to host electric vehicle safety course. That's going to be the 29th and 30th of March. And then apparatus operator pumps, which runs through May and then a couple weeks into June. And those are both classes that our fire department requested and said we would be willing to host. So we've gotten those 2 classes so far. I was invited to the codes meeting over in Phoenix, and during that I picked up a lot of good valuable information related to training. As I mentioned, on March 19th, codes will be sponsoring a extrication drill, and then Mr. Duty also sent an email out that in June, the codes group has reserved the Oswego County Regional Fire Training School, the 9-1 Fire School, for a day of training. So I'm keeping my ear to the ground on that, and hopefully some of our members will be interested in doing that. That'd be I'm pretty sure that would be on a Saturday.
What do you say, June 4th or something?
June, if I know there's going to be a quiz in this study. June 19th is sticking in my mind. Yeah. June 4th. March 19th is the extrication drill. June 4th is the day at the Oswego County Fire Training School.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, I plan on also, Kit, tomorrow night, I'm gonna mention your name, tomorrow night at the business meeting for the Chief Rubin presentation. I plan on letting all of our members know that that's being held, and the codes is going to pay.
You've got the only thing listed there that's head activity, which is the kitchen.
Yeah, and there was a question about the serving trays, and we said we understood that they were included, and so they will be coming. In the meantime, we do have others that we can improvise with, but their new serving trays will be coming.
Are people able to use that, or are you gonna wait till the other serving trays?
No, they can be used, and we encourage their use. So, that is on building and facilities. New truck committee. Jeremy, sorry.
Not much. Chief Corcoran kind of gave an update on the new truck. We're still waiting on a bunch of parts for that. Nothing in the works.
Okay. Lysander Public Safety, Chief Corcoran talked about the March 19th extrication drill. We're still waiting for some clarification on that from Scott Doody from Phoenix. Our next meeting is March 15th at GPAC. Hold that date of June 4th for a townwide training, which will be live fire. Then also, Mike Stock is planning on April or May a big water supply type drill. We don't have dates on that. Budget and finance, as Bill reported, the check came from the town, so we're operating on a year here. The IT.
We do have our quarterly meeting with Usherwood coming up this month. We met with first arriving last week, yeah. They will be doing our station boards, so we've got all the stuff we got to put together as far as schedules and what we want to share, integration with Red Alert, and they put together a list that's that Friday to me with all the stuff that they'll need to continue on. So we got to put all that together this week, get it back to them, and then schedule implementation. It's pretty good call. I think everything we want to do, we'll be able to do with the new system. So, more to come. And like I said, I think in the last meeting, or maybe the meeting before that, we may be updating the TVs, but It's at a later time, we're gonna use the existing ones for now. But they're probably gonna be a little on the small side. So at some point, I'll be coming back probably from those funds.
Okay. Recruitment and retention.
We are getting the brochures updated and hopefully this gets started next month.
We got people lined up to help you.
Yes.
Rourke went a few times. He said he was a real
It's a top.
asset.
We might have to fire him.
Personnel, personnel will be scheduling a staff meeting. We have some time in the next couple of weeks. We try to do that quarterly. Caretaker reports. We have the reports from caretaker leader and from the caretaker. Comments or questions? Snow removal is going well, or
For me?
snow removal is going well.
Yeah, we've been doing quite a lot. No breakdowns.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah. Just talking to Mike sure about the blade on the truck I drive, the bar on the bottom is about wore out. It needs to be replaced, and there's a triangle plate. It's got some cracks in it, just from age, the truck's 10 years old. And I was kind of wondering, we kind of thought, bring it up, about $600-700. You're all like to install everything. Just try to get the new gear out of it, I don't know. They get the parts in stock. You get a charge count there.
Is it worth, since you can install it, is it worth getting the parts, putting them at headquarters, and then wear the other ones as much as you can this year?
Well, yeah. That's good for next year.
As luck would have it, you'd have a bad snowstorm and one would break and then
I know.
tell us there, we just sold our last one. I have no problems if you wanna,
Okay.
do I need a motion for that or? It's only 700,
I don't think so. I think that's something that the
you can do it.
truck committee can just relay.
It's just a little wear and tear.
What's that?
A little wear and tear.
Yeah.
His word.
So truck maintenance, that goes into truck maintenance.
Same old stuff.
Anything else?
Nothing really happened.
Building maintenance.
We have to upgrade our panels for the alarm system. Apparently they're discontinuing the 3G and the 4G support and going to 5G. So currently we're working with the IT committee on this to get this project underway.
And what kind of money are we talking?
I believe the quote is just under $1,600. So we'll need to make a motion for that.
I'll make a motion up to 2,000.
For 2,000. And I'll
Is there a
second
second?
that.
I'll second.
Malone. Go with Malone, second.
Okay.
Okay, any discussion, questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Old business, extended warranty for truck 2. Mike?
Since last month, Jerry and I have gotten additional information Uh, Not only have we listened to the people that are pushing the warranty, but we've looked at our own vehicles to see what we've serviced in the past. And we were also in the process of talking to other departments to see if they've actually found with their warranty. So at this month, I'll just roll it over till next month with possibly a final decision at that time.
You?
Can I go back to building maintenance? Also, you got some 3 notable leaks at the roof at headquarters. I mean, water dripping. And I made a call, the guy put the roof on, he promised me to come out, but I haven't seen him in a week or 2, or haven't heard from him. I've been talking with Diane and I don't know, it's leaking. Well, one of them is in the old codes room, and then there's 2 more over by the furnaces, and it's where the penetrations go through the roof by the rubber boots or something, and there's one leak here and then one over here. They're pretty noticeable, so I'm assuming we probably ought to get them all looked at once and make a decision on what we're gonna do. Roof is 10, 12 years old, probably 12 years old. Was put on when we purchased the place. I don't know if that's, should last, but it's not. So it's just looking up forward, you probably want to proceed with getting that looked at, right?
When's the last time you reached out to him? 'Cause I know last time
Yeah,
you
no,
spoke
it's
with
supposed
him, he was gonna
It's
come with
been
a
a couple
call.
weeks, he said he would work me in, but I could try calling him again.
Let me know, keep me in the loop on that.
Okay, now, touch base with him.
Thank you.
So we're tabling the extended warranty. So new business, this is to authorize Amy or myself or the Dwyer to vote on the bylaws change in the election at the annual meeting for the Association Fire District of the State of New York. And generally, the changes in the bylaws are to bring us in line with not-for-profit corporation law. The only real change is that in order to run for president of the association, an individual must have served a full term as a first vice president or second vice president. And that is to preclude someone from jumping in to run for president with not having any experience or anything. So that's the only real change. Otherwise, the other things are things that were predicated by not-for-profit law. So, and also the election at the annual meeting, we don't know until the day of the election exactly who will be running. Right now, there are no contested spots, but we won't know that until the date of the election. So what we're asking is to authorize Amy, Bill Dwyer, or myself the authority to vote on the bylaws change in the election.
What was that? Oh, I was just gonna say, in the correspondence about the amendment change, the board of directors for the state association does support the amendment change. So
Yes, yeah,
there's no,
yeah, it's not a controversial thing.
Yeah.
Our position statement, or the board's position statement is definitely in favor of the changes.
I'll make the motion.
Jeremy makes a motion, Malone seconds, all in favor,
Aye.
opposed? You must be a fire district official in order to vote, and
and only one of us votes, it's just we got approval for all three depending on who's tied up where.
Right. It's
Kit
just
sometimes has
only
to,
one can vote.
yeah, Kit sometimes has to run elections, so it's easier to fill where I vote. It just,
Okay, so that's physicals. We know that there have been several issues of problems with the physicals with the provider. We also know that this is a very difficult time for medical facilities because they're all experiencing short staffing like that. But I feel that they knew how many people were coming and they knew when they were coming. And it doesn't look like they made provision for that very well. In the past, we have looked at other providers and we're going to continue to look at other providers. We had a good option lined up, 2 years ago? But they didn't have a chest x-ray on site. So people who needed a chest x-ray were gonna have to drive to some square to get the chest x-ray. And we didn't feel that that was very expedient for our members. So each of the options we've looked at has had a disadvantage. And, but we're just going to have to look again and reevaluate our provider. Everybody agrees with that? As noted in the correspondence, the president notified us of a change. And I think we probably should acknowledge that and make a motion that we acknowledge and approve that change.
I'll make the motion.
Jeremy? Mike? Sure. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Amy, you want to tell us about the hall use?
Ryan McNeil is looking to get the hall on June 11th for his sister-in-law's baby shower, for at most 75 people, and he's looking for approval for alcohol, just beer and wine, for the
And that alcohol would be just beer and wine? Yes. Jeremy makes the motion, Diane seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. I added an agenda item here. I think we need to be looking at our long-term plan. Generally, in the beginning of the year, we've had that meeting. I don't know, because of COVID last year, we may have fallen off. So, are there any, I was just looking at March 14th. Is that date okay with any of the other commissioners?
What time?
7?
That's fine.
Do it earlier?
No, that's fine.
Later?
I work 1 to 6, so 7's fine.
Okay. Cheryl, what do you think?
Sounds good.
Okay, well, let's plan on a long-term planning meeting on March 14th.
7 p.m.
Huh?
7 p.m.
Yeah, 7 p.m. And we can do it here or at headquarters, whichever you want to do. Here? We will be going into executive session in a while. Public comments. Okay, so I would make the motion, we move to executive session for